The word silent and the word listen have the same letters. Welcome to another episode of Conversations about Conversations. Today I'm talking about listening, and I wrote a whole chapter of my book about listening. And the reason I was inspired to talk about listening to you today is because someone came up to me the other day and said, I have a very important meeting tomorrow. What do you recommend I do? And I said, listen. Make sure you go in with a listening plan, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a couple of minutes. But clearly, I want to underscore the idea that if we're not committed to listening, then we're going to have issues in the conversations we have. And that, I would say, again and again and again, my number one feedback for people when I'm witnessing their conversations, when we're role-playing conversations, when we're having a conversation about their business or about conversations, listening. It's almost like a lost art to listen. And I do believe it's an art. What happens when you don't listen well? Well, the problem when you don't listen well is you miss a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff just whizzes by you. You don't really get to the crux of what's important to the other person. You don't really get to address your client's needs because you never really find out what their needs are. How many times do you see people approach a meeting, if it's a stand-up meeting, with a 80-page PowerPoint deck, or if it's a sit-down meeting, a deck where it has 57 pages, or even a phone call without any stated agenda where people say, I have a lot to cover, and the business person just goes one, boom, 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 without much listening. And even more so when they're making their points. They'll make point after point after point. They'll talk a lot. I had one client who told me that when he went to a presentation that my company put on, he was afraid to ask a question because he said, I was afraid if I asked a question like what time it is, they would tell me how to make a clock. So very important to be able to listen and to have the discipline to do that. Because what happens when you don't listen, again, you miss needs, you miss opportunities to build relationships, you miss opportunities to collaborate. Really, I can't imagine following the method that I put forward without listening. So here's the new mindset, though, for you to take on about listening, is that there is a purpose for listening. There is a framework for listening. There is a way that you can approach it. Here's what I recommend. Pick a framework, pick a focus. For example, listen to receive. I had a call earlier today with a potential new training client who was telling me all the things that were needs. And really what I did was just receive. The first half of the meeting was just me receiving, typing down what they said so that I can make sure to give them full audience. Plus, I really needed to know what this company needed because I want to position myself as a solution to their needs. That's one way to listen, is listen to receive. When you listen to receive also, this is a great time to listen to people who are very emotional, either angry, upset, if they are sad, like just listen to receive. Like just really let in what they have to say. The second way that you can listen is you can listen for what their thoughts are, what their thinking is. This is a way for you to say, okay, I'm going to just listen as I note down what they're saying for thoughts. Because that way, when you really hear their thoughts, they will feel heard, and it creates a foundation for a productive dialogue going forward. Because you can then, after you've fully listened, say something like, here's what I'm hearing about what you think. And it gives you a platform for them to then confirm that, yeah, that is what I think. Third thing you can listen from or for, and that is feelings. So you're receiving, you're getting the thinking, and now you're kind of writing down the feelings that you heard, which by capturing and really letting in the feelings that you've heard, you can begin to empathize at a level that you might not be doing today. So thoughts, feelings, receiving information, giving them a chance to be heard. And then a fourth way to listen is to listen from the point of view of collaboration. Like as you're getting thoughts, feelings, you're receiving their communication, you can think, okay, how am I going to collaborate with this person? How am I going to come to some kind of an agreement? You don't want to get so focused on that while you're focusing on listening, but eventually that's what you're listening for. You are listening for collaboration, for agreement, because that's where conversations are headed if they are designed to fulfill on your objectives. Speaking of fulfilling on your objectives, I have a couple invitations for you to help you fulfill on your objectives of having excellent conversations. Number one, I make myself available for one time slot a week, somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, to just do free coaching. If I know you already, great, please reach out to me, direct message me. If I don't know you yet, I look forward to having the opportunity to talk with you. Whenever I have these free coaching sessions, something good always comes out of it. That's what I'm committed to. You can email me if you don't have the ability to direct message me. It's ivan@conversations.biz. That's B-I-Z. The second thing is I wrote a book. It's called Conversations. I strongly recommend it. It's really like, if you want to know, what does Ivan think? What's the 50,000 words that Ivan put on paper about conversations? 160 pages, 10 easy lessons. Easy lessons, but not easy necessarily to do. But the book is called Conversations: How to Manage Your Business Relationships One Conversation at a Time. It's available now on Amazon.com. Thank you for listening.